News and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest from Invincible to Invincible. Imagine invincible to invincible, turning adversity into catalyst for confidence and performance. And of course, an author too, and the author of the debut book, The Quiet Gift, no other than Miss Pamela Cass.
Hello.
Welcome, Miss Pamela, on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Absolutely. So I currently reside in Colorado. This is my very first book, and it is going to be a book in a series of books. And this is my childhood story from the age of 7 and through college. At the age of 7, I was diagnosed with dyslexia, which kind of made me very invisible growing up. So it's kind of my journey through self worth and finding my voice and leading me into the career I'm in now, which is I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, author, podcaster, and doing all the things that I love now.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Pamela. Thank you. The title, The Quiet Gift, is so evocative. What is the nature of this gift and why does it
Mhm.
often arrive disguised as a profound struggle or failure?
So the prefaces for the name of the book is that dyslexia ends up being one of those disabilities that people call a disability, and to me, it ended up being a gift. And so, but it was a gift that I kept quiet for a very long time because I didn't see it as a gift. And then once I truly embraced it, it really changed my life and allowed me to raised very quickly in a corporate position to a vice president position. And it has led me to do what I do today, which is help other executives, business owners find the gift that they have inside of them. And sorry, just really
No
lean
worries.
into it. Sorry, just choked.
No worries. So that will be amazing. Helping other
Yeah.
is something else, Miss Pamela.
Mhm.
So can you describe the moment or series of events where you old foundation and self-worth crumbled and you were forced to begin this journey?
Yeah. So it started very young. When I was diagnosed with dyslexia, it was in the 70s. And in the 70s, they knew about dyslexia, but they didn't know how to help kids that had dyslexia. So that meant that when I was in school, I was taken out of the classroom while the other kids were learning. And I would go with a teacher's assistant and I would make cookies and draw pictures, but I wasn't learning and I also wasn't building friendships with all the other kids. And so you feel very much like you're invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you want to be invisible because you don't want people to think that you're different. And so as I went through my years in school, I got to the point where I did not want to be different from everybody else. So that meant I put in twice as much work just to survive school so that I could just be in the same classes with everybody else. I didn't want to be different. I wanted to be the same. When I went to college, I was able to have somebody go with me to class and take notes for me, and I could take tests differently. And I didn't want any of that. And so I said no to it. And I believe that I can do whatever I set my mind to. The problem is that when you're having to work twice as hard as other people to do a simple task, you end up, it leads to burnout. And
Mm-hmm.
you absolutely hit a wall. And I walked away from a six-figure VP role because I was burnt out, because I was working 7 days a week, because I felt like I had to prove my worth, because
Yes.
otherwise they're going to figure out that I don't belong here at the table with all these other people because I'm different. I have a disability. And I walked away, and I was a single mom at the time. I had no idea how I was going to survive, but I built a coaching business, a speaking business, in a real estate business and was able to support myself. And now I'm on this mission to help other people do the same thing.
Yes, and thank you for that mission, Miss Pamela. Thank you, thank you. Why is quiet the right word for this? Is it the internal voice, subtle knowing, or strength that does not need to announce itself?
I think it's the voice that we try to make quiet. We kind of try to silence, but once we lean into that quiet gift that we have and we allow it to shout from the rooftops, you find the best version of yourself. People that are neurodivergent, that have these gifts, as I call them, not disabilities, they can do amazing things. People, they can be incredibly creative. They can find solutions that most people don't see because we're just wired a little bit differently. And so my goal is really to get people to see these as gifts, not as challenges or disabilities, because they really are gifts if you embrace them and don't quiet them so that nobody knows that you have them. Because when you let everybody know, that's when you shine, and that's when you can be completely invincible and unstoppable.
Invincible and unstoppable. I like that, Miss Pamela. And how did your definition of self worth transform through this process? What do you have to unlearn about where your value comes from?
Yeah. So writing this book was the ultimate journey of self acceptance. I spent a lot of my years, like I said, I didn't want people to know I had dyslexia because I thought I would be judged. I wouldn't be good enough. Nobody would pick me to run a company or to coach them. And so writing this meant that I had to be incredibly vulnerable and share it with the world. Just say this is who I am. And it was very freeing, and it allowed me to lean into it and celebrate it. And now I'm proud of where I am today and everything that I've gone through to get here. And so every journey that I've taken has led me to where I am today. So it's been truly a gift.
Truly, truly a gift for sure. How did your definition of success as you're having this kind of gift?
hmm So my definition of success used to be the titles, the money, all of those things, because I thought that that's what it meant to be successful. I had to really reprogram myself to change my belief about what success is. And to me, success is getting up every day and working to make a difference in the world. So when I get up every morning, I'm like, what good can I do today? Because I want to help inspire other people through authenticity, through kindness, with no expectation of anything in return.
In the depth of your struggle, Miss Pamela, what was your first small, almost impresentable step you took toward rebuilding? Was it thought, action, or decision to stop something?
Oh gosh. So when I walked away, to me it was my health was in jeopardy. And so I didn't feel like I had a choice. I felt like if I don't do this, I'm not going to be around to be here for my kids. And so to rebuild, I leaned into what I loved doing, and I loved helping other people. And so I took that passion and built a coaching business so that I can help other people and I teach other people as well. So I just figured out, what do I love doing and how can I monetize that so that I can survive, because I got to pay my bills,
Mhm.
but I can have the biggest impact on people. And that's what I do today.
We often think of resilience as a mental game. What role did your body, through fatigue, illness, or eventual strength, play in teaching you about your own capacity to endure and heal?
Gosh. Um, so resilience to me is not about how fast you bounce back from challenges. And I've had challenges. I've abusive marriage, cancer, burnout. So, all significant challenges that I faced in my life. And to me, every single one of those helped make me stronger for the next event. And so it's basically prepping you for the next thing that's going to happen. And if you can lean into those adversities that you face to find what the meaning is behind them, what the purpose is, then that's what can help you move forward. On our podcast, we interview people from all over the world that have gone through incredible tragedies and adversity. Every one of them has taken it and built something that's making a difference in the world. And I think that's what, if we can take those challenges that we're faced and ask, what is the message here? What is my purpose here? And now what can I do with this to help other people that have either gone through it, going through it, or can prevent going through it?
Yes, definitely make a difference to the world. So, what was the most damaging story you had to rewrite about yourself?
Mm.
And how did you begin to add it as a narrative?
Yeah. So probably the biggest belief I had was that my worth was tied to my title and my bank account.
Hmm.
And that was probably the hardest thing to rewrite, because I was so driven and I felt like, oh, I have to have this title to for people to think that I'm worthy. And letting that go is probably one of the hardest things I did, and to reframe that belief is I had to find the evidence that was to the contrary of that. So, I didn't ha there was no evidence that I was worthy because of that title, and when I walked away from the title, it didn't change. My worthiness didn't change. I still had the same people that cared about me, loved me, and but the biggest relationship was falling in love with myself again, and all of the messy parts of myself. And so, yeah, it's hard. It's hard work to do, because those beliefs that we carry, those are in there and they've been there for a very long time, and you have to rewrite that and reframe that story that you're telling yourself.
Hmm. Definitely. And Miss Pamela, who or what form the essential scaffolding that held you up when you could not hold yourself up? Was it a person, a practice, a piece of art, or something else entirely?
The thing that carried me through always was my gratitude practice. When you do gratitudes on a daily basis, and they have to be new gratitudes every day, you can reprogram your brain so that when you face adversity, your brain doesn't go to the negative, it goes actually to the positive first. And so, gratitudes are one of the most powerful tools that we all have, and that are easy to do if you do it consistently. And it will give you the power and the strength to get through it. When I was going through my cancer and I would go to 2 doctor's appointments a week, every doctor after my surgeries, they're like, "You're healing faster than anyone we've ever seen." I know that was because of the gratitudes that I was placing every day.
Yes, gratefulness, gratefulness. People, being grateful is something else. What are the non negotiable daily or weekly practices you rely on now to protect and nourish your sense of self worth and resilience?
So I have a morning routine that happens 7 days a week, and it's a non-negotiable, whether I'm on vacation or whatever. And there are times I have to get up even earlier to make sure that I get it in. But my morning starts with a stack of books. I read a passage every morning from a book called The Pivot Year. Then I do a gratitude journal, and then I journal, just do free journaling, just anything that's coming to my mind. And then I will do my affirmations. So I'll write 25 affirmations a day. Then I'll usually do some sort of meditation, and then I do an hour workout. And so that is 7 days a week, and I do not miss it. And that allows me to start my day in a place of intention and gratitude every single day.
Interesting, Miss Pamela. And as an author, as well as a coach, a businesswoman or entrepreneur, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Oh gosh, long-term goal is to eventually at some point be living abroad half the year. I want to be speaking in front of large groups sharing my message about the gifts that people have that we have about self-worth. I want to continue to write the books in our series. I have another one coming out in January. I'm working on an actual journal that'll have daily prompts for people. So I just want to keep changing lives. And so that's my long-term goal. Short-term goal is to live every day to the fullest.
Yes. Live with the fullest, people. Life is too short and seize your day. Good
Mhm.
luck to your goals, Miss Pamela, and looking
Yeah.
forward for those series to come. And please do come over and book one review and let's talk about it. And good luck to your goals.
Thank you so much.
And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be an author like you?
Ah, if you want to be an author, just start writing. If you can write 3 pages a day for the next 90 days, you'll have a book. And your book doesn't have you don't have to write in sequence. Just write what's on your mind, and then you'll figure out how to put it together as a book.
Mm, yes. Thank you for that advice, Miss Pamela. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Oh, books that influenced my journey. Oprah Winfrey's book, What Happened to You? The Body Keeps the Score is another one. Um, I think those are probably the two that have really been the most pivotal in my life. Psycho Cybernetics is another one, and that's very much a book on self-worth. And so those 3 books are probably my top ones.
Thank you for the recommended books, Miss Pamela. For the person in the thick of it, what is your message to someone who is in the media or in the middle of their own struggle and cannot yet see any gift in it?
So my recommendation is start a daily gratitude practice. And it's 3 new gratitudes every day. They can't be repeated, and do it for 21 days. When you've done it for 21 days, you will literally rewire your brain to find the positive. And sometimes when you're in the thick of it, it's really hard to even find one thing to be grateful for, but be grateful for getting up this morning because there's people that didn't. There's be grateful for being able to take a breath because there's people that weren't able to do that today or can't do it. So that's what I would say, gratitudes.
Gratitude, gratitude, people. You need to practice right now.
Mhm.
And Miss Pamela, a letter of your former self. If you could send one piece of your wisdom back to yourself at the very beginning of this journey, what would it be?
The message to my self back then would be, um, you are worthy.
Mm, yes, you are worthy and being grateful for everything.
Yes.
And why do you think so many people struggle with the foundational sense of self worth? What is your culture getting wrong about this?
I think we struggle so much about self worth because we are comparing ourselves to everybody else, the people that we see online through social media, on TV, in the news, our neighbors. We see the highlight reels, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And so, as long as we're trying to compare ourselves to other people, we will always have self worth issues. And so, if you could just lean into and know that you are worthy, you are worth it, um, and be grateful for who you are, then it would be a better world.
A better world indeed. And how do you navigate the line between being vulnerably authentic and protecting the quiet, sacred space of your own healing?
Hmm. Well, to me, being vulnerable is so vitally important because what has happened to you in your life, what you have gone through, somebody needs to hear it. We don't go through these struggles alone. There's always somebody else on this planet that has either gone through it, is going through it, or will go through it and needs to hear what you have to share. Now, does it mean that there aren't going to be people out there that will take advantage of your vulnerability? Absolutely. But I will say, when you are vulnerable, you will be able to connect with other people in a way that you've never been able to connect before. And that will be so incredibly powerful. And the other people, they're not going to matter. They're going to fall off and disappear.
Definitely. They will disappear, people. And how's your understanding of what it means to be strong or resilient change? Is it less about being tough or more about being flexible?
I would say it's less about being tough and just more about allowing yourself to be in the space when you're going through the hard times. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, but then move out of that feeling quickly. Don't stay there. It's easy to get into that pit of despair, that woe is me, that victim. It's when you feel it, allow yourself to be in it, whether you're angry or sad or however you're feeling, allow yourself to feel it, but get yourself out of there as quick as you can and figure out, how can I take what I just learned in this moment and share it or help somebody else?
Yes, definitely. And Miss Pamela, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please to listen to my other podcast, people, because my Abstract Essay is already in fifth season, Abstract Poetry in second season, and my Book 101 review in fifth season too, Comedy 101 third season, and my Food 101 in fifth season as well, Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101, Music 101, our fourth season, Science 101, Sex 101 in second season of my baby podcast, Law 101, Mental Health 101, and Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Pamela, if your journey and your book could leave people with one fundamental truth about where true self worth resides, what would that be?
Self worth resides inside of each of us. We don't need other people to help us feel worthy. We only need to be able to see ourselves and know the worth inside of us. And so it's a lot of introspection, but it's a beautiful journey. And when you get there, you'll you will not regret it.
You will not regret it, people. So swim to the journey. Miss Pamela Cass, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world through your book. So can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your book, your podcast, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah. So if you go to my website, PamelaCass.com, you can find my book, you can find my speaking, coaching, and a link to our podcast. And if you do the podcast, you can go in there and sign up for our weekly Think Letter, which just gives you more tips on adversity and resilience.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Pamela Cass because if you support her for sure, more and more, the Quiet Gift series will rise. So, Miss Pamela, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
More to come, people. See you soon.